Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Downtime with Downstar, episode 220. And today, I'm here with my boy Hansel from Leen Customs.
Yes, 220. Damn, we should have added 200.
I know, bro, dude. I didn't write it down, but the last episode that we did, I think it was like 60, 65 around there. Yeah. And we're on 220 now, man.
That's crazy. That's awesome.
A lot's happened. I think it was March, if I'm not mistaken, March 2019.
Yeah.
So what's happened since then?
Fuck, COVID.
Everything. Dude, you've been fucking blowing up, bro. I love it. Thanks, dude.
Man. Yeah, it's been a blessing for sure.
Yeah. You've been hustling, man. I see. You know what I like about the brand so much is the way that you market it. Like, I think that you just hit a home run with that. Like, ever since the beginning, you know, and I was just listening to the podcast that we did last time, and I remember that I touched on that, and still to this day, bro, like, it's just gotten better and better. And my guy Alex, he was just telling me before you came in about the debacle of Saturday, dude. How he was just fucking, he had no nails left, bro. He was biting all his nails off. So let's talk about it, bro.
Right.
Saturday, you had the Sup Leen Lambo drop.
Yes, that was pretty cool.
What was that like, man?
It was dope. You know, last time I did the Sup Leen drop was during COVID, which was, I think, maybe a little bit under a year ago, which was the Ferrari F40. And it was just a full experience. Yeah. Just because it was the first time that the website got bought it, which was the same people like that go for sneakers and shit, Supreme shit. So, oh man, it was just such a wild experience to happen during that drop, because not only is it limited, and I know it's only 150 pieces, but the fact that I think maybe 100 of them were taken by, you know, resellers and bot users was just, it was overwhelming. Yeah, because I'm over here thinking like, oh, dope, it's sold out in a minute, you know, which I already anticipated, because drops before that were already kind of in that same momentum where they were selling out in minutes. You know, things were going fast. A lot of my quantities at that time still were in the under 250 area, you know, like 100, 150, whatever. So I already anticipated, well, this is a collection that I know has enough people's eyes on. So I already knew the Ferrari F40 was going to be a popular hit, but I never thought it was going to get botted by resellers, because they in my mind, I didn't think resellers were on the, you know, like I wasn't on the radar. Yeah,
they weren't paying attention.
Yeah, like who the fucking Carpins, like get the fuck out of here. Yeah, like, you know, and apparently it was. I wasn't doing enough research. I never put two and two together. Started kind of, you know, people would send me links on eBay like, yo, have you seen this, or check this out, you know, but I never really thought like, oh, these are the dudes that are buying just to resell. Gotcha. Until that drop happened. Then, you know, it opened a whole can of worms. I literally spent about a week just going through everybody that purchased, figuring out purchase histories, because the good thing about Shopify, it gives you locations, IP address, you know, what they use for the payment and shit like that. So I'm over here fucking trying to connect the dots, like, has this guy bought before? And sure enough, I was able to find a few people that have been on the market to just resell. Got you. You know, so it just opened up a whole can of worms. I ended up refunding all the orders, canceling all the orders. Talked to my team, kind of figuring out better ways to kind of do it. I think that drop specifically, I ended up just doing another like shock drop. I think I ended up having to release them like, I think a day or two later. You know, send it. I think I sold a few privately to some like collectors, I know that, but I think for the most part I was like, fuck it, you know, it is what it is at this point. Until then I found out that Shopify still charges you a transaction fee whether you refund the order or not. Yeah, so it's like, fuck, I just refunded 150 orders, now I still got charged for those orders from Shopify. So it's about fucking just getting the money back. Right?
So you get hit from Shopify, and then you get hit from the credit card or whatever, the payment company?
Not yet, unless you let it process. It gives you like 3 days for it to process.
But say like a regular sale goes, because I'm in the process of moving over to Shopify, but that's one thing that I have heard, because the platform that I'm on right now, the only fees that we pay is through PayPal, because that's where we get the payment from.
Yeah, exactly. So if you activate, I'm pretty sure Shopify uses Stripe. So if you if you activate, like you want to take any major credit card, there is going to be a transaction fee for that. But a credit card fee, right? But they still charge you a transaction fee.
Do you know what is that a percentage or?
Yeah, it's tiny. It's like 2% or some shit.
Gotcha.
Maybe less.
Okay.
Can't remember right now. But yeah, dude, it was a fucking can of worms. Like, oh man. And so this time around, when they came to the Lambo, I said, well, I'm just gonna just do a shock drop.
Yeah.
There is a private group that's on Facebook. So if you haven't join it. Leen Customs Pin Garage.
Yeah, shout out to them, man. I got some questions from them, dude.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, so that's I have 2 other homies that run it. They're admins for it. I try to log in here and there, but I figured that's like the collectors group. So anything that's in that, that's a rare item, I'm gonna let them know first.
Gotcha.
Which was the case for the Subleen. I went there and I told them, hey, this is your 24-hour in advance that it's gonna be dropping. So I didn't post anything on Instagram. And people were going crazy, man, on that fucking thread. It was fucking hilarious. Like, I was up that night just working, and UFC was on that night. So I was watching UFC. And here and there, I'll log in back to see the comments, and people are up. It's like 3 a.m. They're still up. It was pretty amazing to see. And yeah, so then next morning, I made a post on Instagram. Well, I let them know first. I made a post on Instagram, and then activated the website, and sure enough, in seconds it was gone.
Wow.
Yeah,
dude, that's so lit, bro.
It's awesome. Yeah, and it's funny because in the comments people are still like, yo, bots, but obviously I verify everything. And after that whole attack, I worked with a company that they basically anti-bot software. It works, but it's just a pain in the ass to set up, because you have to set it up. Every drop, every product has to have that same format.
Gotcha.
So it's just it's a pain in the ass. I do it sometimes when I know that specific item's gonna have that type of like reseller mentality, and then some other items that I don't do it.
Yeah.
So,
that from the what is it? Leen's Pin Garage, is that what it's called?
Leen Customs Pin Garage.
Leen Customs Pin Garage. That was one of the questions that they wanted me to ask you about, was about the bots. Dude, that's so surprising that world has made it over into that. But yeah, I mean, it's just like anything exclusive,
Right.
People are going to find out some way to get on it.
For sure.
So what is like the say the one that just came out, what was the retail on that?
For that one, it was $60.
Okay.
It was a limited edition out of 150, and I partnered up with this dude from Indonesia. Goes by Cobalt Cases, and he makes these acrylic cases. They're pretty nicely well done, and we did a specific version for that, which was a red base, which basically they come packaged in nice packaging. So, as far as resale on those, I've seen them go for like $300-$500.
Oh my god!
Yeah, so and I think that's one of the main reasons why the F40 got botted hard.
Okay,
because of that reason. Because the ones previous to that, which was like the Porsche and the E30, they already had like a high resale value.
So what's the highest resale value you've seen on a pin?
Oh man, it's been pretty crazy. I know there was one that went for some sort of like charity that reached like 3,000, which was a 4-pin set.
Oh wow.
There's other individuals that have gone up to like $1,500, $1,000.
Yeah,
just for 1 pin.
That's wild,
so
dude.
It's pretty insane.
That's so cool. Yeah. It's just collecting stuff. Like I was showing you some of my collections I have here, dude. It's just it does something to you, I guarantee just the guys that get the pins and they have them, their displays on their walls. Dude, it's probably like such a big accomplishment to them.
Oh, for sure. I mean, some of those displays are phenomenal. Like they're way better than what I have. In my living room, I have a cork board, and they're there. But dude, some of these dudes have been going crazy with the displays, and it's amazing to see that. It just. One day I'll have a cool display like that.
Sick, dude. Do you have a number one fan or somebody that comes to the top of your head that's like a big supporter?
There's a few. I know there's a shout out to James Thorpe. He's actually one of the first dudes that has stuck around since my first pins. I know there's a few other ones that I just can't think right now. Obviously, now this past year, I saw like a cool trend of even them creating their own Instagram handle. just based on nothing but their collection of like
pins, wow,
which has been pretty cool. Shout out to Collect Lean. There's one Yas Lean Yas.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of other ones. Lean pins and so it's cool to see. That kind of wave of people just they don't want to mix it. So they rather just create like their own portfolio for just nothing but pins that they collect, and it's a good way to kind of just promote their trading, and because a lot has been going on and a lot of people trade now, so they kind of use that network to kind of do that. So that's pretty cool.
Have you seen it get to the point where they're concerned about the quality of the card, like make sure that the card isn't damaged, that it's pinned straight on? Like, does it get to that point?
It's yes and no. I here and there I try to tell people and remind people that the card is not a collectible.
Okay.
I'll go on there and be like, "Yo, this is recycle it," like discard it. Because I get some collectors that are new to Lean Customs, and they're used to collecting whether it's Hot Wheels or Funko Pops or whatever it is, and they want to make sure that the box or the packaging doesn't have any bends or creases or whatever. And I can't guarantee that, so sure enough, I get people hit me up like, "Hey, I got my pin, but the card's damaged."
Yeah.
I'm like, "Sorry, dude, but you should wear the pin."
Yeah.
Throw away the card. Which is one of the reasons why I haven't created some sort of display case for the backing card as well.
Oh, got you.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I know Hot Wheels make stuff, Funko makes stuff like that. Because then you start kind of making it, hey, that card is valued,
that puts a lot more pressure on you,
which people do value them. I've seen people sell fucking backing cards too, which is pretty crazy. But again, it's one of those things that I'm still like, it's 50-50.
Yeah.
I want people to, if they want to cherish them and collect them or keep them pristine, go for it.
Yeah.
But I can't guarantee that they're going to be the safety of them when they get to their location.
What if you did something like another limited edition where the card was limited edition, where like it fit in like a plastic like shell casing and stuff, dude?
That's
like 10 G's right there, bro.
That's funny that you say that, because I'm working with a prototype right now and creating a casing that's going to be for single carded pins. But I have to find the right way to promote it to make it where I don't want all my backing cards to be limited or to be like that exclusive, but I do want to create stuff that's going to be, you have to have that full packaging experience. You know? So I am going to be creating stuff like that. And then same thing with the display cases I got made. Some people like to display them on board. Some people like to wear them on their backpacks. Some people like to have them in their front desk, So I think it's just another option for them to be able to, use the full pin and backing card, because sometimes the backing card is customized specifically for that pin, so they want to it creates a good setting for them.
I actually got one right here. This is Alex's FRS that you
exactly
did for him.
Exactly. So that downstar in and out style, like some people would be like, dude, I want this backing card specifically because I don't want it to be damaged. So
if you guys see this one right here, Alex, he's from Downstars. Alex from In and Out is his Instagram, and it has a little In and Out here, and the sign says Downstar, and then on the back it says Lean Customs, Alex from In and Out. This is awesome, bro. I love it. And I love stuff like this, little trinkets for the room.
Of course. And
then we got the this one is one I got from it was from Illust. And the Illust did the pop-up that was at the old Hundreds on Fairfax. So I got this one that day. That one's pretty sick right here, the gold one. But I've been out of the loop, because I don't collect them, because the way that I collect things, dude, is it's so crazy that I have to have everyone if I'm collecting. And if I'm not gonna have everyone, I can't even dive into it.
Yeah, that's
like
funny.
Even Hot Wheels, dude. If I don't have like the whole entire set, I'm like, I don't even want to start, dude. I'm so crazy.
That's funny.
We had you do what was it? Probably about 4 pins for us now.
Yes, it was the logo, the skateboarding one,
the 2 logos, the Downstar skate one, and then the downtime with Downstar.
Correct.
And then I've just I just had the Downtime with Downstar one, and I just totally forgot about it, and I just haven't put it on the website or anything. And then I think he posted some, or I posted some of the other pins that I had. And Alex is like, hey, check out the Facebook page, dude. Like, people are going crazy over those ones. And I'm like, holy shit. So then I dropped the Downtime with Downstar one, bro. Okay. We sold so many of those, dude. Yeah. Super cool, man. Yeah, awesome. It's really cool that like the name has such a following like that.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, and again, it's a blessing, right? Because I would have never thought, even now, you know, we're going in our 4th year now. And it's getting better. I still think it's still the beginning. You know, we're still on the way, climbing up, and you know, achieve like something even better. Better than what it is now.
I did see one not long ago was with the black E30, the black and gold E30 stands.
Yes.
And then it's then there was another one in front of it, and it was like the back display was like of Fairfax, and it was of Supreme and like Rip and Dip.
Correct.
Well, tell me about that one, dude.
So that's funny. So the car in front of it is the first Leen.
Got you. Okay, that's what it was. Yes,
which was the M3, the E30 M3, and that one and again it just goes to show the wave, right? So I dropped that. I want to say 2018 at Beamer Fest. And back then, you know, that one was again limited edition 150, but it didn't sell out right away. You know, I had them at Beamer Fest. People bought a few. I had them on the website. They were there for like about a week or something, maybe less. Can't remember. So that was the first one that kind of started the whole thing, and I think that's when, you know, the whole Supreme Hot Wheels collab had just dropped. So I thought it was a kind of a cool play. I've never been a collector or I wouldn't say a fan, but I've never collected Supreme or bought Supreme. So I thought it was kind of a cool way to do like a bootleg series and, you know, do a little whole thing like that. So that whole thing just transitioned into what the Leen collection is now, which again, I've only made 5 cars so far. So what you saw is a print that I actually got requested by Stan to make. Like, he's like, dude, we should do like a full on Fairfax kind of like, you know, hype beast in front of his with his M3. And I was like, okay. And then I kind of, when I was kind of just sketching and kind of figuring out a concept, I was like, what'd be cool to have both cars there with the Supreme store and the, you know, whatever store was there at the moment that I got the reference from. And obviously Rip and Dip has been there. That's actually, it used to be Known Gallery, which are my homies over at the 7th Letter.
Okay.
So that space now being Rip and Dip, they've gone through so many phases. I think every collection, they paint something new.
Yeah.
And I think the iconic Cato is obviously the one, you know. So I just did a print off of that. So it's a limited edition print. Only 30 of them were made based off the E30. So yeah, it's pretty cool.
Did you? I saw your post that you didn't realize how hard it was going to be shipping those out.
Oh, dude, shipping posters sucks. I was just talking to Drew right now, my guy that prints them over at Code Collective. I'm like, dude, it's bullshit. You know, because you know, usually when I've got a print or so, like they come rolled, you know, and I'm like, all right, cool. Then you got to find the right frame, the right matting, whatever, you know. So I wanted to offer it where it's, you know, fully ready to go to hang.
Yeah,
and as I started kind of digging into like, okay, well, I want to get a good quality frame, good to get a nice size mat that's going to be the border around it. I'm like, all right, cool, you know, I'll just order these. I ordered, 30 of each. Bro, my fucking house looks like a warehouse again. Fucking so many boxes. It was ridiculous. And now, okay, and here I come to like, okay, well, I got to unroll these individually, make sure that they're flat, even. Got to lay them in and everything. And then you realize you have to be so delicate because little debris gets in there, dust, little particles from the boxes of carding. So now I framed my first one and there's like little crap inside. I'm like, fuck, dude. I gotta take this to the warehouse because where it's clean and I have the space. I can't, because I'm thinking, I'm gonna just crank them out of my living room. I can't. It's just too much. You can't. I have cats running around. There's gonna be cat hair to keep his frames and shit. Yeah, that was funny. So I didn't realize it was gonna be a pain in the ass, but it's cool. I'm glad they sold. It's my first official print.
Got you.
And I made a limited of 30 of framed and all that. So I'm stoked that people that wanted them and
Yeah, Got you. Did you do any like autographs or anything on them?
Yeah, so they're all signed. They're all numbered individually, 1 through 30, and yeah, they're signed.
Very cool, man. So last time we were talking is when you were talking about how you linked up with Toyo, and now you're still linking up. Just came out with the poster with Stan. Tell me about that relationship, man.
Yeah, Stan's been awesome. Obviously, the people over at Toyo have been great. We've been kind of expanding over to the Japan market, so they've linked me up with the people that run Toyo in Japan. So we're creating a lot more limited edition stuff for them as well, which is pretty cool because now a lot of the, you know, my plan is definitely worldwide, right? Yeah. So now the fact that, you know, a lot of the people that are here in the States, is going to be hard for them to grab some of these exclusives that are releasing in Japan, you know, and my goal is to be, you know, big in Japan, big in, you know, Europe, big in, you know, Asia, and just kind of go in all those different markets. So the fact that they've linked me up with Japan is kind of a good kicker to that, you know. Got you.
Yeah, that's one another topic that from the garage that they wanted me to bring up was some international customers are having a big issue because when they do buy the pin, then they have to pay a lot for shipping. Do you have any sort of international dealers or anything at the moment?
I don't. I've always been very you know, I've always said no to wholesale and distributors. I think this year that might change.
Got you.
Yeah, I think this year I have to look into that option. I have to look into different distributions in different parts of the country, just for that reason. You know, because I know that it's easier for someone to get a pin that's in Europe for the shipping rate to be cheaper. And not only that, it's because it's a weird, tricky thing when you're shipping out of the US to all these other countries, because the rate changes, the customs sometimes, you know, I want to assume it's like pick and choose.
Yeah.
Sometimes you get fucked, you know. Sometimes they'll get you with like, oh, you got to pay a custom duty fee.
Yeah.
You know, I've had customers that order from the website periodically and there's no issue, and then all of a sudden they get hit with this one package that's they're charging them like even sometimes more than what they just spent.
Yeah.
You know? So it's a trip. It's weird to kind of it for me. It's unpredictable. Like I can't really say how it goes. All I know is that this is what they're charging me. I am not in control when it comes to the duties and all that shit. So that's kind of the only issue that I see, right?
Yeah, I feel you. Even with us, man, we don't have international shipping on the website. So if people want to buy something, they have to contact me directly. Will email us.
Okay.
You know, and we'll send them an invoice.
You still fulfill it?
Yeah, we'll send them. They'll send us pretty much. It's so easy, dude. They'll just send us a screenshot of their cart. We'll send them an invoice, and then it's with the shipping. But it's for, if it's under 4 pounds, it's $35, and if it's 4.1 pounds, it is what it is, $65.
Yeah.
So it kind of it is hard for people that just want to buy, you know, some $10 item or something like that. They have to pay $35 for shipping, but it kind of makes it more valuable to them. Of, hey, well, let me spend a little more now because I might need something in the future. Let me just get it now. Right. But it would help to have more distributors. But see, same thing with me is like, I want to make sure that I know whose hands my product is going into. Okay. I want to know what their shop looks like,
exactly,
where the product is going to be located at, who's going to be selling it, you know, things like that. Because sure, I'm so personal with my brand, as you are with yours, you know. So if you did go overseas, what sort of shops would you look for? Would it be like a pin reseller or automotive brand, or what would kind of be your ideal market that you would tap into? And we back, guys. Let's take a quick break for our sponsor, Heel Toe Auto. An important part in buying Honda parts online is making sure that you can trust the company that you're dealing with to get you the parts reliably. You spend a lot of money and you spend a lot of time doing research on your build. The last thing that you want to do is send cash to a website where you may never see it again, and worse yet, never see the parts. With Heel Toe Automotive, an 18-year track record is part of the deal. Heel Toe brings you deep industry connections, professional part recommendations, alternative ideas when your parts aren't available, and they'll even contact you when something on your order looks out of the ordinary before it ships. Hilto's unique checkout allows you to select a deadline to receive your parts to make sure that you can get them in time for your project plans. You can buy parts anywhere online, but Hilto knows what truly matters to an enthusiast: professionalism, swiftness, and accuracy. Hilto is in your corner. Make sure you guys check out Hilto at hiltoauto.com, or you can call or text them at 949-295-1668, or you can check them out on Instagram at Hilto Automotive. Big shout out to Marcus from Hilto. Great guy. He's always treated me so well, and him continuing supporting the podcast means the world to me, guys. So please, if you can do us a favor, just text him right now and say thank you for supporting Downtime with Downstar, because without Hilto and our other sponsors, we couldn't continue doing the show. So shoot him a text right now, please, 949-295-1668, and make sure you guys check him out on Instagram. Like I said, shoot him a follow, shoot him a comment, and shoot him some love at Hilto Automotive. Now back to the show.
Yeah, no, 100%. And I think again, my experience, I've dealt with that before. You know, I used to be in a completely different industry that we had to deal with distributors and wholesalers in different parts of the country. And that's exactly what you're looking for, right? You're looking for the right shop, the right person you can trust, the right person you can communicate with. Sometimes a lot of these people that want to open distribution want to do it in some sort of terms, you know, like send me the product, I'll pay you 30 days from now or something. And sometimes that doesn't work, you know? Like,
hell no, you pay me now,
like,
bro.
Dude, I don't even know you, you know? So, again, it's building that type of relationship. I am, again, in the talks with somebody in Japan that has a good presentation. They have a shop, online platform where it can help with some of that area. Europe is still iffy. I know they just passed a new thing with, you know, with duties and, you know, products from US going into Europe, because I think they're trying to regulate as far as like they want to support their economy. If I'm correct, I'm not quite sure. And they only want products from Europe to be in that area, you know. So they don't want people buying from like the US and bullshit.
Got you. Yeah, we're kind of fucking ourselves, bro. we're ruining relationships with everybody.
Yeah, for sure.
But it's all good, man. So last time that we did talk, one of your goals was that you were going to go to Auto Salon.
That's a trip. You're right.
We ran into each other over there, dude.
Dude, last year before COVID.
Before the world ended, dude.
Dude, straight up.
So tell me about that, bro. How was that experience, man?
Oh, it's amazing. I was hoping we were going to get a chance to go again this year.
Yeah.
You know, we were already planning for it. We're like, yo, we'll take the vaccine. Let's do it. Yeah. Unfortunately, that wasn't even a thing you can do. So, but yeah, it was amazing. Japan was definitely a great experience. It's one of those things that there's not enough time to get it all, to soak it all in, to experience everything you want to experience. And I think just being out there and kind of seeing a whole different culture of the way they do things was definitely something great, you know, for myself. I went there with my fiance, so we were able to experience that together. And just being there, we did, you know, a little bit of everything. You know, we were at Tokyo Auto Salon for about, like, we went there twice. And then the rest of the time we kind of we were being tourists, you know, doing a little bit of everything. It was cool. Did I see you at that underground meet? Fucking Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift style.
Was that the one with the freeways?
No, it was. I think it was hosted by. I think I'm saying it correctly. Copays.
No, I don't think I went.
It was in Shibuya. One. Yeah, so it was. I think it was one of those nights.
Oh, it's in the parking garage. It was in the parking garage. No, I didn't go to that one. Okay, but I did see that one.
That was a super trip, because I think Stan was out there as well from Toyo, and he was like, "Yo, there's gonna be this meet going on, you know, blah blah blah." I'm like, "All right, well, just send me the details," and it turned out to be maybe 3 blocks away from our Airbnb. Yeah. So it was super close in Shibuya because we stayed over there. And we're walking, and they gave me the coordinates, right? And I think it was coordinates, and I think you just put in your Google Maps, and it pops up. And we get there, and we're like, "There's shit going on. What the fuck?" Obviously, you're in somewhere else, and you know it's not great, you know, getting in contact with people. So I'm looking on Instagram, seeing if anybody that I know is here in Japan is posting where the fuck they're at.
Yeah.
And fuck, I can't remember who's live. Someone went live. And they were down there, and I'm like, "Where the fuck is it? Where are you?" You know, and I couldn't get a straight answer because it was very choppy, like their Instagram feed. Yeah. And then we see another group of like 3 dudes, kind of like in the same, like, "Where the fuck is this?"
Yeah.
and we see a parking garage. Like, it's not even a parking garage. It was an exit on ramp to the street.
Yeah.
You know,
I know exactly what you're talking about.
And I'm like, do we have to walk? You know, get on. You have to. You know, Japan, they're kind of closed, right? So it's not like you can just jaywalk.
Yeah.
So you have to jump the gate or jump that little fence and then start walking down. So sure enough, that's what we did. And then obviously once we get to that platform, you start hearing cars, you start hearing the whole bullshit. If you know. Yeah, exactly. Straight up, dude. Fucking awesome. And then we realized, okay, it's probably 2 floors down because the first floor, well, I don't even know what floor we were in, but that section we got there was no cars, but we can hear them. So we go down one more, and sure enough, they're there, and it's just dope, you know, Japan vibes, Tokyo drift vibes, like super cool, all kinds of cars, and it was a cool little meet, you know. It was pretty cool to kind of experience that, you know. And then I know what you're talking about. You're talking about the under freeway pass, and I don't even know the name to that shit.
Daikoku, I think that's what it's called. But that one's pretty crazy too. We actually did end up going to that one. Yeah, we were hanging out with some guys from Speed Hunters, and they had a Phantom. And my boy Ravi, he's really good friends with them. And it was me, Rywire, and then Ravi. We were all staying in the same hotel. And Ravi's like, hey, you want to go hang out with these guys? And we're like, hell yeah, dude. We're at the back of the Phantom chilling out, dude. Yeah, that's crazy. And then we went to check out that meet. We were just all over the place. I remember that one popping up. But I don't know why we didn't end up going to that. You know, when you go out to that stuff, dude, it's just there's so much shit going on.
For sure. And then I think that's what it was, like trying to even coordinate. Like I remember even with Stan, I was like, hey, let's coordinate a lunch before you get out of here, because we were there longer than he was. And even that was hard enough, you know? Yeah. Just because everyone's schedule is different, you know?
Yeah. And it's not like you can drive to them, dude. You got to get on the train. Yeah. So how did you deal with like traveling around there?
You know, it was... being that we obviously don't know what the fuck is going on, it was super easy. I feel super easy to get around. Everything's straight up forward. Obviously, the cool thing is that people do understand English. Some of them are able to translate certain things. So if you don't know what fucking right train to go, just show them where you want to go, and they'll be like, wait there, motherfucker. Like, don't worry, you'll be good, you know. So it was easy to get around. The dudes over at Shinku Classics were there as well. So they actually, you know, they are importing vehicles all the time, so they actually have a spot over there, and they have a car, so they were able to kind of pick us up and show us around, and you know, go to different places. I didn't realize how far Shibuya was. Well, I mean, it's pretty far for Shibuya to Tokyo Auto Saloon.
Yeah, it's probably like an hour,
dude. Yeah, so I'm glad that they hooked us up with a ride over there, because I would have, damn, dude, it's far as fuck.
Bro, we would even get lost sometimes, dude. We'll get on the wrong train. I'm like, fuck, we got to get off. We got to go on the other one.
And then that's the thing, right? Like, with one station, there's like 5 different train routes, you know? So, and again, I think it was just fair. It was easy, the fact that it's like color coordinated.
Yeah, exactly.
Get on the red one, you know.
It's extremely overwhelming, though, especially if it's your first time there, dude.
For sure.
So, how'd your fiance like it?
Oh, she loved it. It was amazing. Yeah, we went to you know, we did like the tourist stuff. Like, we obviously hung out in Tokyo. We went to that Snow Monkey Park up north. If you've ever been there, I definitely recommend it. I can't remember the section city where it was located in, but it was like maybe like a 2-hour train ride.
Okay.
Up north. Then you start to get another bus, you know. And once you get out of the outskirts of Tokyo, now it becomes real, like, I feel like Japan. Like, you start
definitely
noticing it's not touristy anymore. It's very local, you know. That's where the barrier between communications kind of gets in the way, right?
Yeah.
Because now you start realizing people out here don't care, you know. So but it was a really dope experience. Obviously, once you get to that area section of where the snow monkeys are at, it becomes a little bit more touristy. It's about like a 2-3 mile hike after the bus stop to get to the location where the monkeys are at, and pretty chill. It was dope.
And they're just on the trees and stuff.
Yeah, everywhere.
Wow.
They'll come close to you. They're walking all over you, and it's, from what I understood, it used to be like just like a random spot that monkeys would come down. It was like somebody's home, and they ended up having it to reserve the land and kind of like protect it to make sure, because they started noticing more and more coming down, and you know, in the cold time, just because of the water system, and you know, having
got you
hot lakes and shit.
Very cool, dude. Yeah, I miss it, bro. Like, this whole COVID shit messed everything up, bro. Because that was my tradition. Every January, dude, go out to Auto Salon, and it kind of like refreshes me, you know, kind of shows me like why I still do all this stuff,
for sure,
you know, and it's like the reward too.
Okay,
you know, I even feel the same way about SEMA. Like,
and I was gonna tell you, what out of those two, do you prefer one?
As far as the show wise, I'm probably still gonna go with SEMA. Okay, you know, the only downfall of SEMA is that they don't sell anything. Right. And that's what I really did like about Auto Salon, is that they sell a lot of stuff.
For sure.
You can go to like Ray's or something like that, and they're not selling it at U.S. prices. They're selling it at like if we were at a show, you know, we got these discount pins or, you know, discount bolts or something like that. Correct. You know, I remember going to like the Ray's booth and buying valve stem caps for like $5. You know, so I would just, that's what I really like about Auto Salon, just going to these different booths, buying things like that.
Yeah, no, totally. And that's one thing that I did notice, that there was a lot of more like independent booths.
Yeah,
you know, like selling merchandise.
Exactly.
And I thought that was dope. I was like, yo, next year, Leen Customs pins.
I've thought the same thing, man. I think that would be so cool to just have a little booth, because they just have the little 10 by 10 ones,
little stacked up on the wall.
And the way I think about things now, I don't think about it like I used to in the future. Like, oh my God, how would I ever do it in Japan? I'm like, yo, it's just a place, you know, and you just have to pay for a spot, and you just have to figure out how to get your stuff to there. Yeah. That's all you have to do. Yeah, and I think that, dude, that would be so awesome for you, man, because your inventory is not even that big, you know.
Put in a couple of luggages.
You take 2 suitcases and have thousands of pins right there, dude, and that would be a hit. Yeah. But as far as like the cars, definitely Auto Salon over SEMA, just because it's more of my style of what I like to see, more detailed. I feel like SEMA, they throw a bunch of shit together and it's there and it's just like loud and obnoxious.
Well, there's no trucks.
Exactly. No trucks, no Jeeps, no none of that. And I do like that, but I do like to see the cars that are just detailed all the way down to the last bolt, you know, plug. But what I do like about SEMA is it's more of an experience. Yes. I feel like once you go to Auto Salon, you can walk it in a day, 2 days.
Definitely.
And that's it. Yeah. SEMA, you can be there all week and still see stuff on Instagram. It's like, wait, where's that? I didn't see any of that. You know, and then funny. You can leave from there. Then you have, you know, the nightlife. You can go out to the hotel or to the clubs, and, you know, it's going to be like, you know, Toyo night or something like that, or what have you. And then at Auto Salon, it's basically like, okay, the show's done. That's it. There's nothing. Yeah, there's nothing really around.
Definitely, right? Because I mean, and obviously Vegas has to be it's a huge part of that, right? Mm-hmm. It's nothing but casinos and fucking clubs and shit. So there's that, you know. But yeah, you're right. I think just the car choices that were in Japan were fucking dope, you know.
Yeah,
just whole different types of concept JDM, US cars, and some Euro cars, you know,
just even to see things from their point of view, because you still have the kind of like look at me cars in Tokyo as you do in at SEMA, but the ones in Tokyo, they're still detailed. Even though like there's that car with like the 4 big exhaust in the back and it's just crazy, but then you're just still looking at the craftsmanship, and it's not like just some kid that just threw the shit together, you know, like an Instagram car or something like that. It's still very detailed. So it's like, it's not my style, but I can still fuck with it because this dude, this is his style, and he still executed it you know, to the best of his ability. And it was awesome to see that.
You know, one thing that I do remember was, and again, it must be just because I own a K-van, but seeing all the different K-vans, you know, not just in Japan in general, but in the show as well. I think I don't remember the booths that we're having, but I remember I saw one that was set up as a DJ setup, you know.
Exactly.
Full speaker system, place where somebody can have some turntables and spin some shit, to just, you know, full camping rig set up on just K-vans. You know? And seeing that, obviously for me, I was like, damn, this is fucking dope, you know, again, because I have a K-van that's used for exactly that, you know, selling merchandise out of. So seeing all these different vehicles inspired and having their own flavor and creating, different types of things, whether it's selling merchandise, selling, food, or just, accessories. Like, they all have the different thing. And then getting out of the show and just walking in Shibuya, walking in Tokyo, and just being able to see regular folks, mom and pops, having their own, business, selling that out of their cave-in was pretty dope.
Yeah, dude. And I think that, with the Japanese mentality, it's like, yo, we're going to work with what we have here.
For sure.
And it's something cool to witness, because like that van is super small, and you wouldn't think like that you could fit a kitchen in here and you could be selling waffles or whatever out of it, but you really can.
And that's exactly what was going on. I remember we went to Kyoto. We went to Kyoto we went there for 2 days, and it's completely different from Tokyo.
Yeah.
There it's more calm, like all the restaurant, or like at least the nightlife stuff, they were closed by like 9 or 8 or something like that. And I remember we were like, yeah, let's go, we'll probably find a local bar, and dude, everything was closed. We were like, fuck, we can't even get some food. Like, so it was interesting to see. And then we sure enough, we're walking and we see just this dude just out of his van, like making dumplings. I'm like, fuck it, let's eat some dumplings out of this van.
So when you went to Kyoto, did you go to where they have all the temples, the orange temples?
Correct. So we went there, we did that, we did a few of those temples. We went to Yokohama as well.
Okay.
We checked out Moon Eyes.
Very cool.
Had some food there. Super cool. I mean, and then again, it just shows you like different, right? Like here in the US, like, we try to do stuff that inspires us from, Japan. And then you go to, we were in Moon Eyes, and all their thing is nothing but American. You know? Like straight up, like their diner set up just like Denny's or some shit like that, like full on American menu, here's a cheeseburger, some fries. So it was kind of cool to see that, kind of aspect of it, and people, enjoying that are locals to Japan,
Did you feel a lot of inspiration after you got back from Tokyo?
Oh, 100% for sure,
Yeah, I see so much value in just that trip, just for that point alone. Just go there and just recharge, and then you just start seeing things through a different lens, and seeing, like even in the parking structure and the meets and like that, you see the young kids. This is 15, 16-year-old kid or whatever, but this is like his style. This is the trend that they're following, and it's kind of cool just to trip out on that, because maybe you'll get a picture here or there on Instagram, or maybe even someone will vlog it, but it's nothing like the real experience.
Right, for sure, exactly.
Yeah. So speaking of your van, man, one of the last times that I did see you before Auto Salon was at Grid Life.
At Grid Life, yes, that's right. Shout out to Grid Life.
Hell yeah, dude, that's an awesome event, man. What'd you think of that?
Oh, it was fun, man. It was a great experience. It was my first time in Atlanta as well. So,
oh, really?
Yeah, it was my first time in Atlanta, and it was a funny, fun experience. I went out there with my boy Carlos, and I'm like, yo, dude, I'm gonna plan to do this event. I don't know the turnout. I don't know what to expect. I can't pay you, because I don't know what the return's gonna be. But I'll fly you out. I'll get you accommodated. Everything. Just go out there with me. You're gonna have to miss some work days. And he was down, so we went out there, and super cool to just get into Buford, and just seeing like nothing, and like fuck, you're in a whole completely different state of mind as far as being in LA. But then you get into Grid Life, and it's just a whole, it's like, I don't know, it just felt like you're back home and shit. Knowing people there, seeing some of the familiar faces, and not only that, but the whole experience of how Grid Life laid it out with like drifting and the racing, and giving fans the experience of being able to jump into cars as well was pretty dope. Obviously the nightlife thing. The only thing that sucked, I think, was like the weather one day. I think we got that like rain that came in, but we were there pretty chill. It was my first time to take the K-van somewhere else, and even that was, I thought, was like, I don't know what to expect, because the K-van got there first before our flight did, so having to go and make sure that the van got there on time, and it got picked up as well. So it was cool. It was a dope experience.
Yeah, I love it out there, man. Shout out to Chris, dude. It's just that event. It's I just hope it just keeps getting, not that it's not big, but I just hope that event becomes like the premier event for automotive,
Right,
you know,
right. That'd be
because
dope.
it has so many aspects to it that just makes it a great event. Not only an automotive event, but just like a
Right,
great
right.
event overall, dude. It's like
Yeah.
for the vendors, and then just to have a car show there, and then they have the drifting, and then you can just watch the road racing, or you know,
Yeah.
you see the pro drifters there, dude.
Right,
And then
right.
at nighttime you see the concerts.
Yeah,
Did you
yeah.
stick around for any of the shows?
Yeah, we stuck around for like 2 nights, I think. Damn, I don't even remember. One night was when I saw you.
Yeah.
And I think it was your homie or
Xavier Wolf. Yeah,
He was
Shout out to
performing.
Xavier Wolf.
Yeah, so that was pretty cool to kind of experience. And I think we were at a perfect place. Like we were right in the front of the whole stage.
Yeah.
So we were like, let's crank, see if we can get some night sales, But at that point we were just like, nah, let's just shut down. We'll just fucking experience the shit.
Yeah, dude, that's a hard thing about like being a vendor too. You know, you really miss out on the actual experience of the show.
Yeah.
And you got to know when's the time to like pull the trigger.
Exactly.
Sometimes I'm just like, all right, it's a little slow. Let's close it down. I want to go walk around.
Yeah, that it's funny that you say that because shout out to FCP Euro. They were there. They had the full setup, and one of the dudes came over, and we started chatting it up. He's like, yeah, if you guys want, come down to the paddock and get a ride with one of our drivers and shit.
Oh, wow.
Go in one of their cars. And I'm like, for us? Like, yeah. I'm like, all right. So then we ended up closing the shop for like maybe like an hour or so, and sure enough they took us around the track with I think it was their GTI build or something like that. And it was dope, again, to kind of experience all that, because yeah, as a vendor, you usually don't even experience anything.
Yeah.
You're locked in. If you're busy, you won't walk around the show or anything like that, so it was kind of cool to be able to still be part of everything that was going on in Grit Life.
So was that your first time out in the like in the South?
Yeah, as far as Atlanta, yeah.
Did you end up getting to go into the city?
We went into the city just one day.
Got you.
Yeah, like the day before our flight took out. We checked out some local breweries around there, and and downtown, but that was pretty much it.
Yeah, I love Atlanta.
I was like, it's probably a place I'd like to go. I mean, shit. Well, no, that's in the. I thought it was the.
I was gonna wear it, dude. I was gonna wear that one, but yeah, dude, I love Atlanta because I met a bunch of good friends that became like family in the car community, and they live out in Atlanta. So even with Grid Life, I went for that one day that I seen you, and then the next day I went probably for like a few hours. And then I was like, let's go hang out with the homies, and we went to like someone's house and watch football, and they had barbecue and shit. Yeah, and it's dope, man, because I've never had that kind of experience where I have a bunch of friends and hey, come over to a party, and I go and just everybody's hanging out,
right.
And over there getting to experience life how they live it was like, man, this is so cool, dude. Like, you guys,
interesting. Yeah,
you guys live in the woods, but right outside is the city is right there.
Yeah,
and then
that's exactly what it is.
And then you go to the woods, dude, and you're barbecuing out there, and just everybody's just hanging out. You like eat like 4 times, dude, and it's just smoking and chilling. It's just like an actual vacation, bro.
Yeah,
and it felt so cool, man. And then my homie Chubby, he lives in downtown Atlanta, and bro, downtown Atlanta is so sick, dude.
Okay.
It's like they have so much stuff there. It's I would even say it's more modern than downtown LA area would be.
Oh, okay.
Because they have areas where you can go where you could just walk around, and there's just a bunch of different stuff that's going on, like nightlife kind of things, and like art exhibits and stuff like that. And it's just such a fun city to be in, dude. And I honestly feel like Atlanta is going to be the new LA, especially with the way that Hollywood is changing as well.
They said Austin is the new LA.
I don't know if after this past week, dude.
That's true, right? Fucking snowstorm.
Everybody's gonna be out of there, bro.
They're losing their mind over
Hey, shout out to everybody in Texas right now, man. I don't mean to joke around, dude. That looks like some real shit that they're going through, bro.
Imagine we got it here in LA or here in Oxnard too.
I know,
that'd
bro.
be dope.
I don't know about that, dude. I seen Ashley was texting my wife. She was texting me or tagging me in some pictures. It's like, bro, the inside of the house is frozen, dude.
I don't know if those are true.
Really?
I saw one like his like little fish tank was frozen. I was like, I don't know if that's true. Yeah. It's I don't know, man.
You're a skeptic?
Yeah, I mean, dude, people in Big Bear don't got it that bad. You know what I'm saying? So.
If you think about it too, I'm a conspiracy guy too. If you think about it, they're like, all right, everybody's moving to Texas. Let's fuck up Texas a little bit, man.
That's funny. But I told the dudes over at Shinku there in Texas, I was like, yo, go outside, make a snow angel.
Bro, it looks like some serious shit. But yeah, like Atlanta, like I was saying, the music scene is second to none. Like, I feel like the Atlanta music scene runs the entire music scene. Whether it's inspiration or what have you. There's so much that comes out of that small area, and everybody in that area, they just help each other out.
Okay.
So hip hop, whether it's like Gucci Man or Young Thug or something like that, they're not shitting on the next person as they would in New York or in LA. They're bringing everybody up, and that just makes the whole community bigger and bigger and bigger.
Yeah, we didn't stick around in Atlanta for that long. It's definitely a place I'd like to go there and, like you said, right, vacation or whatever.
Definitely.
Just go out there and kind of experience that whole area. Because I know, again, we were there for the daytime and, checked out a few breweries and all that, but we saw a gnarly crash, though.
Oh, really?
Yeah, some chick. But again, we didn't really experience it as far as, like, hanging out at night and checking out, like,
yeah,
because even then, like, we're obviously, Grit Life, it's like, I don't know, like an hour away, right, from Atlanta.
Yeah.
And then it's like Grit Life ends 7-8 whatever, you get back to the hotel and you're like, all right, let's see what's open, what to do. Dude, there's nothing open in fucking Buford, like everything closes early. So we even thought about, like, oh, maybe we should catch, or I think we were driving, had a rental car, so it's like, maybe we should drive to the city, see what's going on. But then even then, we weren't even sure if things are going to be popping or open solely. Yeah.
No, Atlanta's dope, man, for sure. Has there been any other places that you've traveled to since you've started the business? All right, guys, let's take a break for our next sponsor, Action Clutch. Big shout out to Action Clutch. Thank you guys for coming back as the sponsor for the next season of Downtime with Downstar. We're so excited to grow with you guys. And if you haven't checked out Action Clutch, check them out right now before this read at Action Clutch. They've been working on a lot of stuff, and they're really getting into content, which is awesome. But one of the most critical parts to any build is the clutch. Without a proper clutch, you won't be able to get that power to the wheels. No one wants to spend hundreds of dollars on a clutch that won't hold their power for more than a few races or spirited drives. That's why it's important to go with a kit that that you can count on, and that's why many people choose Action Clutch over the competition. Action Clutch makes kits here in the USA with parts sourced locally in Los Angeles. They have kits to replace OEMs clutches all the way up to 1,200 horsepower and can be found everywhere from street cars, drag cars, even Formula Drift vehicles. Not only are the clutches made in the USA, but they've made a strong focus this year to give back to a percentage of sales to the community during these hard times, providing impacted families with groceries and other necessities. Contact them today with whatever you need, and they'll give you the family treatment. You can check them out at actionclutch.com. And if you don't see what you need on there, you can give them a call at 323-269-6051. Or, like I said, check them out on Instagram, and you can shoot them a DM and get right to it at Action Clutch, or you can email them at sales@actionclutch.com. Or if you want, you could just honk your horn 5 times in a row. Beep, beep, long beep, 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 and they'll be there right at your door. That's not going to happen, but what is going to happen if you use the code DTWD for checkout, you get 15% off. How lit is that? Go buy yourself a clutch. Now back to the show.
As far as like events, no. I mean, I can't think of anything that I've done that's been out of California.
Yeah.
As far as like event wise. And again, that was the plan for 2020.
Yeah.
When I took out the van for Grit Life was in September or when was Grit Life?
I think August, if I'm not. Yes, September. It was August. Yes.
August. Okay. So I remember the K-Van had just gotten finished as far as the interior and everything, and it was ready to rock and roll for events. So my goal for 2020 was to do like a Leen Customs tour.
Hell yeah.
And I had linked up with Formula Drift. I know I was in the talks with Grit Life, and I think Tuner Evo was one of them. and basically just handpicking like some events that were pretty much all around the nation that I was gonna just take the K-Van to. Obviously not drive it because motherfucker only goes like 55, but yeah. You know, just tow it out to these other different locations, you know, Florida, Michigan, Atlanta again, and just do like a tour, you know, based on that, because I think that my mentality for 2020 was being a little bit more selective with events.
Gotcha.
For 2019 it was kind of nonstop.
Yeah,
almost every weekend there was an event or some sort of pop-up or some sort of you know, something where I was setting up shop, you know. As for 2020, I wanted to be a little bit more exclusive, you know. I didn't want to, if I was going to be a meet in LA one week and then the next week same like another place in LA, I don't want that, right? So I wanted to be more exclusive. So I had talked to some of these event organizers and trying to figure out scheduling and find a way how I can kind of piggyback off of them if they're, because I need like even with Formula Drift that they're located here in LA, you know, if they're going out to Florida, I'd be like, how can I get my van with one of you guys to get out there type shit, you know?
Yeah.
So that was the goal for 2020, kind of tour, you know, do a Leen Customs tour and definitely check out some of these places. But with COVID and all that shit that hit afterwards, it kind of shut down the plan. So it's still in the works, you know. This year, things are still weird. I don't think, I at least from my end, I don't think things have kind of kicked up just yet. I know Grit Life announced their dates, and it's kind of cool to see that they're still pushing forward Formula Drift as well. And it seems like things might start happening with maybe limited capacity.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's worth that as a vendor to try to, like, you know, dedicate so much time and money to try to go to these places where you're not going to get the most out of it, right? And that's usually what it takes when you're doing these events. You want the most out of your buck, you know?
Yeah.
So I'm still kind of in the 50-50 as far as what's going to happen this year.
You know, that's a good topic that you touched on, man. Ever since I started back in 2009, I think that my first event was maybe 2010. Probably done over, you know, 150 shows since then. Okay. And when 2020 hit, we talk about 2020 like it's an entity.
Yo, 2020.
when that fool came through 2020, I was nervous. I'm like, man, dude, I usually do maybe 10 to 15 shows a year. Okay. Bro, at the end of 2020, I'm like, dude, I didn't have to do any shows. Yeah. And we killed it.
100%.
We killed it more. So it really made me reevaluate things. You know, I had to look at it from the outside looking in. Like, when I go to these events, I spend X amount. Not only money, but time. Time, bro. Time away. And it's like, okay, if I have to fly out at 5 on Friday, 5 a.m., my Thursday's gone. Right. I'm not going to be able to sleep a whole night. You know, I'm not going to be there with my wife and my son at the time. You know, I didn't have my baby at the time. Right. So I wouldn't have that time with the family because my brain's already going. I got to be at LAX at 3 at the latest. Right, you know? Right. So I can't, I got to leave like at 2. Where am I going to sleep at? You know, it's like 11 o'clock at night and I'm like, you know, I'm already exiting, you know, and plus then once I get there, once the plane lands, boom, time to go. I got to go get the car, get this and do everything. And then, you know, by the time you get home on Monday, you think like, yeah, I made this much money, but I just look at the website sales and I just made pretty much the same amount.
Yeah, for sure. And I think I'm on the same boat, right? So obviously 2020 was a phenomenal year for me, for the brand. We fucking killed every month. Every number was beyond what we expected. And for me now, it's carrying that momentum, keeping that going, right? But yeah, it makes you realize, like, you know, you do shows, you got a plan, and not only just because the show's from 1 to 5, it's going to be 1 to 5. It's pretty much all day. Yeah, exactly. Because you got to be up early, prep, get up, you know, set up and all that other bullshit. So I totally feel you. And sometimes it's like, it's not even worth it, you know, some of these events. So if it's one thing that I did realize though, is the fan experience, exactly. At least on my end, you know, because I just recently did one, which was super random, in Riverside. It's like a die cast show. and I hadn't done a show since I think I did one show last year, which was the Patches and Pen Expo that I got invited to, and it was during COVID. They said they were gonna have precautions up and whatever. They did. I did the show, and it was good. You know, I made some cash and, you know, saw some familiar faces, but they really didn't really push it, right? So for this recent one in Riverside, it was a die cast show. It was a little bit more intimate. It was gonna be smaller. It was not like some major event. It was just like die-cast collectors and sellers kind of selling that, you know. And it was one of the shows that I did back in 2018 when I had first started, and it was because the homies from the HHW crew, they had like a table set up, you know, and they're like, yo, come out, you know. At that time I had a board, you know, I was selling shit from, so I'd go out there and, you know, fuck around with the homies and shit. So this time around when they invited me, I was like, well, if I'm go, I got to take my van out. And they're like, yeah, that's fine. Like the show's from I think they said from 8:39 to 1. I'm like, all right, cool, lock me in, let's do it. Then I started realizing, I'm like, they want me there at 6 to set up. And I'm like, okay, well, it's an hour away from me, so that means I gotta leave by 5. Then I'm not gonna be up by 5. I gotta be up by 4. So it makes you like, you know, like it's just time consuming. It's a whole day. But if it's one thing that I kind of did enjoy, was the experience of the fans, the collectors, being there, meeting them, seeing them face to face, and I think that would overcome my online sales any day, you know, because exactly, you're right, like, okay, I made a few bucks here for this show, that's cool, that's dope. I couldn't have not done this, I would have still made that same amount of money on my online release. But I think having that experience of being able to show people, you know, like meeting the artist and kind of knowing that, and I think that's kind of what makes it worth it. You know? Yeah.
You know, this might be something that you would be able to give me an insight on, since you're really good with branding and, you know, the value of a brand. Like, kind of looked at it and like, I don't know what sort of image it gives off as me being the owner of the brand working at the booth. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and
for sure.
It's like, I don't know if how it's perceived. Is maybe it's to some it's perceived as like, well, he's passionate about his brand and he's pushing it, but to others it could be like, well, the brand must not be that big if he's having to go to these shows and set up and sell. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's kind of the way that I've been looking at it more. And I don't want to make my head bigger or not, but like I have 10 years equity in this. Yeah. And when I go to these shows, these companies that I feel like are my peers, the owners aren't there. Correct. They don't even have booths at these events. Correct. So I kind of feel like, I don't know if I've been doing myself a disservice, and maybe it would be a better thing if I would just go to these events and walk around, you know, check out people's cars, and if they do have our products on it, you know, talk to them and interact with them more. Right. I think there might be a little more value in that, rather than, you know, oh well, the brand must not be doing well because he's still grinding, you know, but that's who I am. I'm just a hustler, you know, and I don't want that to come off as like egotistical or anything like that, but it's really hard when you're balancing like the value of your brand, you know?
Yeah, no, that's a very good point. And I mean, exactly the way you just mentioned it, right? Like you see these other brands that you go to these shows that some of them are big, right? And you never see the owner. I think I want to assume that my thing is different because I've always branded Leen Customs as that Leen, me myself, you know. So being the artist, like I wouldn't feel comfortable. I mean, not that I wouldn't feel comfortable, but I wouldn't feel comfortable having someone else be there selling my art or manning my art for, you know. I mean, I guess people do that all the time.
No, I get what you mean
and shit. But I don't know. I've never. I think I'm still growing. I'm still at that. I'm not there yet. You know.
Yeah.
But I do see what you're saying. I totally understand it. I mean, and again, I think that's the objective, right? Like being able to have someone set shop and not worry about it. You know.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm there yet. But yeah, I think it's. I don't know. I don't think it's wrong.
Yeah. It's just really been something that I've just been weighing myself, like, rather than doing 10 to 15 shows a year, maybe I could just do like one or two. And then those ones, if people really want to come see us out there.
Correct. And that's kind of exactly how I felt for 2020, right? Because again, 2019, it was almost every weekend back to back, opposed to, 2020's game plan was, I'm going to be selective, maybe one show a month, maybe two if it's like, Formula Drift and JCCS at the same time. But yeah, being a little bit more selective. And this year, now I feel like, fuck it, any show, let's go.
Let's just like, get out of here.
2020. That it's so, I don't know, man. It's a little bit of both worlds, but I still think that once things get in order, once things start going back to normal, I don't know. Do things go back to normal? I have no idea.
Yeah.
But as long as we're able to progress and events are able to come on, spectators and fans are able to come into this event all at once, then I think that's when I'll start planning for going out to the East Coast, going out to Midwest, going up to Michigan, and stuff like that.
Yeah. I think really, me personally, my focus has just changed from, hustling parts to actually connecting with the actual consumer, and building that relationship itself.
100%. Yeah. I think that's number one key for any brand, having that, relationship with the fans, with the customers, and, keeping that alive.
Yeah. Now, speaking of that, do you have any sort of any programs or anything that you use, but besides like the Facebook page, that is like an exclusive group for the diehard supporters?
No. I was in the plans last year to create a membership program.
Gotcha.
Which is going to be a monthly subscription, and it gives you access to a limited edition pin, certain exclusives. A little bit more details of what's going to drop in the future and stuff like that. But it just got a little bit complicated with the bots, with Shopify not being able to have like a strong defense for automated softwares. So a lot of these membership programs are run through apps within Shopify. So I wasn't able to confirm if they're still able to, if an automated software is able to still grab exclusive products just because it's on the back end.
Yeah.
So it was just a lot of questions and a lot of ways that people can go around it, and it wouldn't make any sense for an exclusive item. And it's like, you think about like Supreme, like they don't have that shit. Like you either get the product or you don't.
Yeah.
It's simple. It either sells out or it doesn't.
Yeah.
So it was kind of like, at that time, that type of mentality where it's like, it's kind of hard for me to create a membership program when stuff is going fast and is being attacked by bots, and it is on high demand. So it kind of, now it's calmed down, which is good. I think it's better for the brand. I don't think it's hard to kind of deal with bots and getting attacked all the time and having people just buying your product to resell. Because I feel, again, like, we said, we're a little bit more in touch with our brand. Like it can be like Supreme, or it can be like, I don't give a fuck, money's still coming in, I'll ship it to whoever fucking bought it, whether it's automated or not. But for me, it was more about getting it into the hands of people that are actually going to appreciate it.
Yeah.
Right. So for me, I was putting up a fight when it came to all this shit, So now that it's calmed down, now I might revisit that and might be able to create something that kind of works in its favor, that it creates some sort of like membership program for anybody that wants to be included in not just like deals, but like insider scoops.
Yeah.
Like this, like, upcoming podcast with Downstar, or this is what I'm working on, and stuff like that.
What I do have is have you heard of the Community app?
Yes, I downloaded it.
So
is that the Community app?
So Community is with the where you get your own phone number.
Oh no, I don't have Community.
Okay, so Community is, I have are you thinking of Clubhouse?
Yeah.
Did you get on Clubhouse? Oh, dude, we got to get on Clubhouse soon, dude. Hell yeah. I've been itching, bro, but I haven't had like a chance. But now I see, I've been on it for a little while. Right now. Yeah. But I see more and more people getting on, like from the car community.
Yeah.
So I'm like, hell yeah, dude. Like I was talking to RJ about it, and we wanted to put together like a Clubhouse, a group, so we could just talk, because like the only people that are really going on Clubhouse right now is like really the people that are the movers and shakers of the community. Okay. So it would be cool to have like a group around and just throw around ideas.
Yeah, for sure.
But I'll hit you up about that. We got to do that, dude. But what community app is you get a phone number, right? So
I did see that. So that's not your phone number.
No. Well, so what it is 818-403-3473. So if you text that number, you get added to our community app, and it basically saves it in your phone as like a contact. So it'll say Downstar. So when you get a text from us, it comes from Downstar. So right now, I think we have like maybe almost 800 people. I can text them like, "Hey guys, what's up?
How you doing?"
So sometimes I swear to God, sometimes I'll do that. "Hey guys, want to just see how you guys are doing. Hopefully everything's going good."
So it's just a group chat.
Yeah, I'll show you once we're off. I'll show you what it looks like, and then people will just message back, "Oh yeah, you know what? I've just been having a hard time. My grandfather's sick," and then I'll just go back and forth with them, just whatever, you know. And
but it's a full group thing then, right? So
it can. Well, the dope thing is I can text everybody, or I can text male, I could text female, I could text age group, I can even text location. So you text like within a 45-mile radius of this city. You know, so a dope thing would be like, say you're in LA. "Hey guys, I'm going to take out the van tonight to In-N-Out over here." And then you text it to everybody within a 45-mile radius. And depending on your fan base, it could be, 100, 200, 300 people. And then, then you just drive the van over there and then just see who shows up.
That's dope.
And nobody else would know about it. Only the people that are part of the text group.
Yeah.
So it's like $100 a month to have this access, but like I haven't really been using it to its full ability. Just like my excuse, life is just fucking crazy right now. Yeah. But when things quiet down, our project that we're working on in the front room, like I was showing you, that could be something that I could tell the guys about. Hey, this is a pre whatever to that. It's gonna be come hang out. Check it out.
That's funny, yeah, because I know you've been promoting that phone number. I'm like, this is really giving us phone number. Did he get a burner phone for this? Like, what's going on?
Pretty much that, dude.
It's a burner phone.
So what it is I'll have the app on my phone, and you click it, and then it's just like you can just go through all the text.
Do you have notifications on?
No, that's one thing is it doesn't have notifications yet.
Oh, that's good. I remove all my notifications.
Yeah, exactly. So if but sometimes I would see the value in notifications because it's not like they're texting it crazy. And then I haven't checked it for like a week, and I have some messages that I haven't got back to. So I kind of feel bad that I haven't got back to them. But
because
something cool.
Even with that, because so I have the Facebook page, I have the Facebook group, and obviously I have Instagram. But people still message me on Facebook, and because I don't have that app downloaded, I don't see those messages.
Yeah.
So there's been times that people hit me up and it's like, this is the third time messaging you, like just ignoring me or just
you think you're all like bad.
Yeah. And I'm like, dude, hit me up on Instagram. Like I never check this shit,
Yeah.
And it's just it's one of those things that I try to just kind of keep it in one platform because it's easier for me to get communication around. Which I get that a lot, right? Like, oh, dude, thanks for hitting, replying to the DM, and blah blah blah. And I try to go through all of them. Even now, like, there's still like at least like 90 something
exactly
left. But if there's a cool platform like that, that'd be kind of pretty cool to kind of use.
Dude, even promote. Like one of my products that we released, like we released our lower control arms, and they're not even out.
Drops, bro.
Yeah, exactly, just like that. and the only people that are getting them are the people that are really dedicated to the brand.
And now do they have to pay?
No.
So it's free to them?
Yeah, it's free to them. It's just all they have to do is, do you accept these terms? And it's basically accepting and receiving text messages.
Correct, yeah.
But after you do that, like I have Bobby Hundreds. Watch, I'll show you. Like I text back and forth with Bobby Hundreds.
With his assistant?
No, it's actually him. So look at like... I haven't texted him in a minute, but so this is his contact right here. So
through the community app.
Yeah, well. So he'll send a bunch of messages, but there's sometimes like we'll be texting back and forth, and then but like a lot of the 100 stuff I'm not really on right now.
Right.
But sometimes when it is, he'll text back, and it really is him texting back.
Is it though?
Bobby, he's not trusting you, Bobby.
An automated reply.
So
blank, fill in the blank.
It's Frank. It is really him, bro. But some other guys like Gary V, I added him before. Never texts back. Ben Baller never texts back.
Yo, Ben Baller, shout me out, bro.
You know who does? Mikey Taylor. He ex skateboarder, and now he's in real estate investor. Dude, he's fucking killing it, man. Huge. He's skate with like P Rod and shit. Like they all grew up together, but now he's in real estate. And every Monday he sends out a text. Monday at 9 a.m.
Wow, that's dedication, bro.
Yeah, and you can like plan it out. So he'll
automated.
Yeah, no, the text that you send out is like an automated one. But then if you text them
if you
back,
start getting replies and shit,
then you can reply back and forth. So it really depends on the person who has the app. Like me, like I haven't been doing a good job at responding back. But after this, I'll show you right now. I've been having conversations with people, and it's really dope, man. It's dope to just like.
I'm already on my phone 24/7.
I know,
my girl
dude.
would hate me if I get another app that's on my phone longer.
It's the balance, man. And that's one thing that we did talk about last time, bro. Is that trying to find the balance? Have you?
It's hard, man. It's hard.
Have you dialed it in a little more? Or?
Not really.
Yeah.
It's funny because that's right. We did conversate about that. Kind of trying to get the work schedule different. It's tough, man.
Yeah.
I'm still up like at 3 a.m. grinding, pushing out designs and communications. It's a little bit easier now with my son being older, but it's just I just rather kind of like sleep in. Do some emails in the afternoon, spend some time with the family, and then later at night kind of just grind.
Yeah.
That's usually my schedule, If you see me like working in the afternoon, it's either because I'm at the warehouse, we're fulfilling orders, where I'm still doing all that shit. So it's right now I'm actually looking for a spot. I have a shared space where I have all my warehouse over at Detzlow. But I'm trying to find my own space now that I'm able to kind of just run everything out of, and I think once I get that, I'll be able to kind of have a better balance, kind of a better structure.
Got you.
To say, yeah.
I mean, it's always going to be hard, dude. This entrepreneurship space is just, no one has it figured out. Nobody. No one has it figured out. And if you do, like, you're not reaching your full potential, bro. I'm telling you, as much as I try to dial it in, it's something always pops up. Something always happens. And one thing that I always make sure that I realize is like, this is a marathon, it's not a race. Like I'm not trying to get to this certain point for some pot of gold at the end that's gonna make me happy. Everything's gonna be good, everything's gonna be great when I get there. No, life is just getting more difficult the further I get into it. It's just I need to learn how to deal with it. And if you like to sleep in, fuck it, dude. You're not working a 9 to 5 anymore. You don't have to be anywhere at a certain spot. And that's how I feel sometimes. If I want to take time to do one thing, I'm going to do that. If I want to close the shop and I want to go skateboard, that's what I want to do. You're still going to get your orders within the certain amount of time, but like this is the life that I want to live, and this is the life that I'm going to design. I'm not going to design it to somebody that they think we need to be open from 9 to 5. Okay, that's cool. Hey,
why aren't you open, bro?
Exactly. Hit me up later, dude. You're good. Order it online.
Yeah, exactly.
But have you ever thought about having an actual storefront?
I want to have something that's everything, kind of like what you're trying to set up here.
Yeah.
So it's basically a showroom, it's the warehouse, and it's the lounge area or fucking place where I can have my cars stored up and not worry about shit, and fix cars. Not necessarily fix cars, but do shit like that.
Yeah. Very cool.
That's that's kind of what my situation now. Looking for a place that's big enough for all of that.
Good
and
shit,
affordable.
Man. So
and in LA, which
podcast 3, bro. We'll do it from the location.
Dude, yeah.
Hell yeah. So I wanted to talk to you about all these collabs that you do.
Yeah.
It seems like you've collabed with everybody in the community.
There's still a lot of people to go, but yeah, I've been fortunate enough to work with some really cool brands, really cool people, artists, and just a little bit of everything.
Yeah. So who's been the biggest douchebag? No, I'm just kidding. Who's been the best collab that you've done and you're just like, yo, that person was awesome, this worked out great, this was the best experience. All right, guys, we got to take a break for our last sponsor, Automotive. Piecing together a fuel system for a build can be a difficult task. Luckily, Automotive has your back with everything from replacement fuel pumps to fuel systems that will support 3,000 plus horsepower. Automotive's engineers have developed a solution for your build regardless of the power level. If you're looking to make a switch over to E85, they have every part that you need to build a system that will be there when you need it the most. Need a custom fuel system for your daily that turn project car? No problem. Maybe you guys want to check out their new line of pumps, the brushless pump line, which is a quieter pump, less heat, and lasts longer than traditional brush motor fuel pumps. And they range from the original A1000 all the way up to 10 gallons per minute. 3,000 horsepower. If anybody has anything like that, please let me know and let me drive it. That would be pretty lit. But probably most people listening are going to take advantage of the Stealth 340. This is Automotive's top selling fuel pump, and it fits most factory fuel tanks, and they can handle up to 700 horsepower for EFI systems or 1,000 for a carbureted system. And if you don't know what you need, you can just hit up the customization shop on their website. You can go there and say, hey, I have this, I have the new K-Series V8 or what have you. I need 5 million horsepower. I need the line 3 inches wide, whatever you need. Just hit them up, man, and they'll get it ready for you. And if you're a pro drifter like Matt Field and you're on the break right now and you said, you know what, you're chilling in the garage with all the babes, all the money, all the sponsors, and you're like, you know what we got to do today? We got to refinish this fuel system. We got to revamp it and everything. You just send it over to Automotive and join their rebuild program. You send the stuff over, they'll rebuild it, fix it up for you, slap it back in, and when we get back to reality, you can go drifting and do what you do. But big shout out to Automotive. Thank you guys for continuing to support Downtime with Downstar and supporting you guys. If you want to use anything from Automotive, just use the code DTWD and you get 10% off. Spend $100, save $10. Take that $10, go buy a coffee, and keep on keeping on like Joe Dierte. Now back to the show.
There's so many, you know, like, and it's different when I work with brands, when I work with like big corporate companies, when I work with local brands, and when I work with artists, you know, and even working with just like individual builders or somebody that has a cool car and they have like their own like fan base and shit like that, you know. It's all a different experience, and I think so far everything's been pretty chill. You know, I've had a few hiccups with a few people, but nothing crazy. Right now, the ones that have been doing real cool is the people over at Tarmac. Tarmac Works. So if you're familiar with them, they do die-cast models, and we've been kind of launching both like die-cast pin combos. So that's been pretty chill. We have some really cool stuff coming up in the next month or two, which has been fucking amazing. The brand that we're going to be working with is going to be super sick, and it's going to, you know, just give it that more of a reason to collect.
Very cool, man. Now, who's your Moby Dick? Pause. Who's the one that you want to get, bro? The collab. So we're gonna make everybody tag them right now.
Dude, no, it's you know, I think it's still in the works. Trying to get Mattel to get on board. Wow. You know, I think that's the ultimate goal. And I think just the perspective of the brand this year, I'm shifting to do more licensing stuff. I think that's the route for the brand this year, and kind of just get a little bit more, you know, I think I'm already established enough where I can, you know, my product backs itself up.
Definitely.
So I think I can kind of come on board and try to get more licensing deals with manufacturers and you know, bigger corporate companies that are allowing this stuff, you know. One of the things that taught me working with Subaru was exactly that, you know, that it's not just, hey dude, you got some cool pins, let's work. It's like a bunch of documents, like their stuff is dealt with a third party, so it's dealing with them as well, not necessarily with Subaru Motorsports, right? So stuff like that. So we finally are getting stuff locked in for this year, gonna do some cool stuff with them, and you know, kind of just going that route and trying to get more licensing deals, and you know, making it more official than what it is now.
Very cool, yeah, man.
I think that's the ultimate goal.
Now, what about expanding outside of the automotive community?
I don't think so. I don't think just yet. I think there's still room for everything.
Definitely.
Right now, I know that there's a lot more people trying to hop on the game, ride the wave,
Yeah.
I saw it, dude. I don't know. Last year was just crazy, bro.
Yeah.
With not just with resellers, but everybody trying to make a pin, and it's cool, but there's some that just are just, oh, I'm just gonna use the same shit he's doing and just replicate it.
Yeah.
I think there's a huge difference and there's people that are like, oh, he wants to be the only one making car pins, or car pins have been around him before him and shit like that, right? It's like, yeah, I'll fucking tell you that, bro. Fucking, I have old vintage car pins. I never said I was the only one that fucking makes car pins, but don't fucking go and replicate the style. Don't fucking make it, just copy and paste that shit. Like, dude, there's so many cool ways, like, to fucking make everything and anything. People just don't want to be creative. They don't want to do the work, And I think that's kind of where it's at. So for me, it's about establishing, that. And I think jumping out of the automotive industry is probably not good right now because of the momentum that it has.
Yeah, definitely.
There's some cool projects or things that I want to do this year that are still tied into the automotive, which is gonna be probably within the next few months.
Yeah, very cool, dude. Yeah, I mean, that subject that you bring up, that one hits really close to home. Ever since that we started out, we've been battling with copycat companies coming up, and then that's their defense. Well, you're not the first one to do hardware, but it's like, bro, you know what you're doing, and like, you didn't even have this idea until you saw us doing it, and exactly what you're doing, and you're trying to make this excuse for your head, but just admit it. You're just riding the wave, and it's cool if you're in it for a buck, but just don't compare yourself to us. Yeah, please, just don't. This is totally different. Like, it comes from it comes from a different place.
For sure.
It comes from more of like an enthusiast, an art form kind of place. Correct, I look at our product as like, as a piece of art, that you can put on your car. This is another step of detail that you could add to your vehicle. This isn't just to make money. Although it did turn into that, that's not where it started out. Now, when somebody else comes in, that's their motivation. Well, I know where he can get that. I know where I could get it too. Correct. Let me just do it. Well, you're not the first one to ever do it. No, I'm not. But it's like, dude, just stay in your own lane. Yeah,
and I think that's, I mean, you said it, right? And I think that's exactly what's going on, that people see the success or the money, or like, dude, he's, like, it's just so weird, like the mentality to some people.
Yeah.
And again, I try not to pay attention to it too much. Every time something pops up, there's like 10 people that are sending me the same shit.
Yeah.
So it's funny that it's hard to avoid it, but it happens, and I saw a huge increase within this past year.
Yeah.
Maybe even, in the last 6 months, that people were like, oh, everyone started, and it's cool. Like, hey, some people are making their own car pins that are completely different from what I do. And I'm like, hey, dude, fucking awesome. Keep at it. Much success to you. Good luck to your new venture or whatever. And there's other people that would reach out to me, and they're like, hey, I want to start making my own car pins. You inspired me, and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, all right, dope.
That's dope.
Just don't copy my shit.
Yeah.
Just don't, get away from that. There's many cool ways that you can promote and brand your own thing.
Yeah.
And people just don't want to do all that work.
Yeah.
They think that if they just replicate something, they're going to compare it, and they're going to be, because I think it's about like uniformity, right? Like, you see a display of lean pins and they all look identical and they look the same and it looks really good. So if you create something that's identical to that person might want it just because it's going to fit in.
Yeah, exactly.
So, and I've been seeing that a lot. So, and it's hard, it's hard to get shit removed, filing complaints with Instagram and, Shopify, and sometimes they do it, sometimes they don't, sometimes they want paperwork, and since I filed my trademark last year, it's been helping a little bit trying to remove some of this shit.
That's one thing that really, really bothers me about the automotive community, is the lack of integrity, not only from business owners, but from the consumers as well, Right. And it's just, there's really no excuse for it. Yeah, somebody else is doing it. Yeah, it's been done before, but this is what I'm doing. Yeah. So why are you doing the same exact? That's corny to me. That's like super corny. Yeah. And then people that support that, that's like super corny to me.
For sure.
And it's just it's kind of good because I don't want nobody corny even with my brand. I don't want you repping my brand.
For sure. Like, yeah, and that's kind of how I feel. And I mean, I grew up from like the graffiti culture, right? So it's like, yo, that's straight up biting. Like,
exactly.
People would get fucking jumped for stupid shit like that, you know? Yeah. Like, and so for me, when I see that, it's just, I try to dismiss and not to get it to me, but it gets to me sometimes.
It does, man. And the way that I've been dealing with this for the last 10 years, bro. And,
yeah, for sure.
And the way that I'm able to deal with it now is people come to us for the brand. People go to Leen for the brand.
For sure.
And, you know, if somebody else is able to sell pins or sell hardware or whatever and feed their family, go ahead, bro. Do whatever you're going to do. But just don't mention my name. Don't say it's cheaper than Leen. You know, there's more than Leen or whatever. Don't do that. Just don't mention it. Just go do your thing. Go in your corner and it's all good.
For sure. You know, it's funny because the most recent one that just popped up, I didn't even care for it. Like, it was a straight just rip off, you know? And I was like, whatever. It's like, I don't even want to waste my time. But then I start seeing like he's mentioning my name, he's using hashtags that involve my name in it and blah blah blah. And I'm like, dude, look, if you're gonna copy my shit. I don't care. Just don't use my fucking name. Like, remove that shit, you know?
Yeah.
And he's like, well, I don't see what's wrong with it. And I'm like, oh, dude, fucking people.
Exactly, bro. And there's a hardware company that popped up, and I seen like, you know, anytime somebody has something bad to say about us, they're always in the mix. And it's like, bro,
man,
do you not understand that I can get what you're selling at a cheaper cost and I can cut you out? And it gets to that point where it's like, bro, I would just let you eat. Just do your thing. Just please, just don't mention me.
Yeah.
You know, just focus on your own brand, focus on your branding, and focus on your own customers. And dude, you can hit me up and I'll give you as much advice as possible. But if you want to start jumping in there and check us out, bro, it's coming, dude. And it's coming. And I didn't want it to come to that point, but you just made it happen.
Yeah,
you know?
No, for sure. And that's exactly how I feel too, you know, because I've had some people hit me up, and there's some people now that are starting their own thing. You know, they come at me for advice, and as much as I can share with them, I'll share with them. And then there's other people like that. Dude, I was telling you about, like, dude, even the website, the fucking copy, all my text, word for word.
Wow.
Just, and then I'm like speechless when it comes to that point. Like, dude, what the fuck are you thinking? Like, and the people that support it, you know, at that point, I'm like, dude, just don't support my shit anymore.
Exactly.
Go fucking ride that wave. I don't care.
Yeah. It's because thing would come from it from a more, like I said, from an artist's point of view. And like you said with graffiti and stuff, it's like, what if someone was doing the same bombs as you're doing? Like, what the fuck are you doing, bro?
Yeah, that's a straight dude. Fucking, we would see that shit all day, every day, you know.
And especially like, say, even in the sneaker culture, if you saw somebody with fake shoes at a show, you'd be getting clowned.
Dude, that's crazy.
But how is it just accepted in our community? Like, why do we have such?
That's interesting. Yeah.
Why do we have such a low bar for acceptance, you know, where it's like, yo, this is our culture. This is the sneaker culture, you know what these shoes cost, the Red Octobers. Now, if you were to go to a sneaker con with fucking the fake ones and you're flossing them and someone's like, yo, those are the fake Red Octobers, you're like, they look the same as yours. What's the difference? Just because you spent more on it? Like, well, where the fuck? What world am I in? You know, but like the world that we're in it's so socially acceptable, and it's not a battle I even want to have anymore.
For sure, man.
It's just exhausting.
I'm telling you, this is funny because this year I was like, man, new year, new me, right? So I'm not gonna let that bullshit get to me. I'm gonna focus on what I've been doing. I've been doing it, you know, the right way. I know what I'm doing as far as, you know, creating what I've created. But even then, like, fuck, I even told one of my homies, I was like, I wouldn't doubt it if 25 new pin brands that look identical to my stuff pop out this year.
Mm-hmm.
There's already 3 so far.
Yeah.
You know, so it's one of those things like, it's coming, you know.
Yeah, and it doesn't bother me anymore because, you know, as far as us, like, I focus so much on branding, and the overall picture of Downstar is that I'm so confident that nobody else could even come inside of that space. But it just makes me wonder, like, why do people feel like it's okay? Not just the seller, but the buyer. Why do you feel like it's okay. Have you never built something that you were proud of? Like, what does this product represent to you? Does this product just represent a car pin, or what is it to you? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I've seen some. There's a page up there on Facebook that like, it was funny. I know some of these people would know what I'm talking about. It used to be a lean collectors page, but the dude ended up like just talking mad shit. He ended up switching the name. Now it's supposedly just all car pins, but it's still nothing but my pins on there.
Yeah.
But anyways, there was people just kind of having that conversation, and some of the people were like, "Well, I'm just collecting car pins, dude. Like, I don't care who the fuck makes them."
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, okay, cool. Like at that, you know, some people have that mentality, and they will have that mentality, you know. But again, it goes to that. Like, I wouldn't personally, like, I buy cars, right, and I collect some of his stuff. I personally wouldn't buy a fucking replica that looks like cause, you know.
Yeah,
that's just fucking lame, you know. That's fucking stupid. But hey, to each their own, you know.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, you gotta agree to disagree. But sometimes, you know, as from before a business owner, I'm an enthusiast, and that's the part of the enthusiast that it really bugs me.
Right,
and,
right.
You know,
right,
it's even in the Honda community. I'm just like, what's my motivation? You know, what's my motivation to even build another car that is like the best of the best? What is my motivation? Because the people, they're not even at the level to really appreciate that. If you go to these shows and all these cars that you see online and you know, the most popular cars, you see them in person, you're like, okay, that's not even clean. So it really just makes me evaluate things to myself. Like, is this the space that I really want to feed so much of my energy to?
Right.
Not saying that we're not going to be selling the parts that we do, but, you know, me personally, as Frank Downstar, maybe my attention is going to go in another place, in another culture,
for sure.
That everybody's, you know, doing their own thing and you know, working towards their own goals, and no one's hating on them like, hey, you can't do that, haha, you know. It's like when you do that certain thing, it's like, oh, you know, props to you. I want to be part of more of a culture like that. I feel like the biggest thing that I've had to overcome for myself is like my ego, and I feel like being in this community is just so toxic and so much ego, and it's just like it's like an alcoholic being inside of a fucking bar,
right,
trying to stay sober, you know, and you know, just seem like it's not a healthy place to be at. And I try my best, dude. Every day I try my best to, you know, post positivity and, you know, show people a different way of looking at things, but it's just like, I don't know if it's somewhere else. I don't know if it's somewhere where I want to put all my eggs at.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, that makes sense. Yeah, and I'm like, dude, I try to remind people like, yo, I'm just fucking an average person like you, man. Like, you know, when people hit me up like, oh, dude, thank you for replying, or brands don't usually do this, or, you know, thanks for letting me know, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, dude, I'm just like you.
Yeah.
Just a regular person, you know, fucking. So it's crazy. It's crazy things that happen.
Yeah. But I mean, at the end of the day, it's a blessing, dude. You're
for sure.
you're what, 4 years now?
Going on my 4th year. Yeah,
going awesome, on my 4th year. Dude. Hell yeah.
Hopefully by 2022 will be the 5th year. Throw a big ass fucking event or some shit.
Nice.
Yeah, something. I don't know.
Dude, I look forward to it, man. Yeah. I wish you the most of success, dude.
Of course, thank you.
Like I tell you, I look at the brand and it's just motivating, just the way that you're marketing, just the connections that you're making.
You know, even when it comes to that, like, I think everything has always just been so fluid. Like recently, I don't know if you saw the recent post that I did, the giveaway, doing that custom pin giveaway, which actually I did it when my first year when I had started. And it was kind of a way to kind of promote. And again, this is stuff that I've learned in the past, but it's not like everything is, there's like no marketing strategy or branding. I'm just like, I got some free time. Let's create these flyers. Let's create the giveaway right now, and boom,
that's
make
the
it
best,
live, you know?
dude.
So it's like there's never been like a set agenda, a set marketing plan, or anything like that. Like everything's been fluid because it's stuff that I know. It's stuff of it's experience. You know, I've done this before. I've created all of this before for other companies. Like I know what works, what doesn't work. You know, so for me, when people will tell me stuff like that, I'm like, damn, like I sometimes don't even know how to respond to that, because it's not like I have some sort of marketing strategy or brand plan or something, you know. It's just, it's me. It's what I'm doing, you know.
That's it, dude. You're just good at what you do, bro. You're natural.
Yeah, so it's cool to see that reaction from people, and especially when people meet me for the first time, or come to a show and they expect to have like some huge company behind them, or like, dude, I thought it, you know, like they trip out when they find out that it's just me.
Yeah.
You know? Like, oh shit, really?
I love it, bro.
Yeah,
killing it, man. Hansel, thank you for coming, brother.
Of course.
I appreciate it, dude.
Yes.
Awesome conversation. And
always.
I look forward to the next one at your new location, dude.
Next year.
Yeah. Oh, before we get out of here, bro, we're going to be doing that new Downstar Lean drop.
Yeah. Do you want to tell people about it?
I don't know. Probably not yet.
Have them wait.
It's coming, though. I'm stoked on that one, dude. But make sure you guys check out Leen Customs on Instagram, and just support. If you guys haven't listened to the first episode, go listen to that one. I believe it's like it's 60 to 65, somewhere in the early 60s. You get a lot more of the back history of Hansel and where the name came from, how it became, and the early years, dude. That was an exciting one, dude. I was listening to it earlier. I was laughing, man. But before we get out of here, man, anything else to expect coming 2021?
Just some more cool shit. For sure, more cool shit. There's a new collection I'll be unveiling that is still within the automotive industry, but it's not a car.
Okay, gotcha.
So look out for that. It's gonna be pretty dope.
Hell yeah. All right, guys. Thank you for listening. Once again, this is Downtime with Downstar, episode 220, and we're out. Peace.